We're less than 24 hours from the first polls closing in the midterm elections, and Republicans are charging for the finish line. Are we looking at one of the biggest red waves in American history? Well, in 2010, Obama lost Democrats 63 seats in the House. In 1994, Clinton dropped 54. In 2018, Trump lost 40. All of them had higher approval ratings than Biden does right now. So what happens tomorrow? Anything over 40 House seats is a big wave. The first polls close at around 7, and Bill Hemmer tells me that if Republicans pick up at least 2 of the 3 House seats in Virginia, that means we're looking at a massive wave. And don't listen to the lies they're spewing that this could take days, to know who won. This is total BS. A wave like this, we should know that night, basically, who won the Senate and the House. Anything that happens Wednesday into Thursday is gravy. The polls show Democrats sinking and Republicans rising. Democrats blew every lead they had. 17% of blacks say they'll vote for a Republican. That's double what the Republicans saw 4 years ago. Democrats' lead with Latinos has shrunk in half since August. Meanwhile, suburban white women, a group I know very well, are running away from Democrats. They're tired of shelling out $100 to fill up their Jeep Grand Cherokees. Democrats are losing because they're not listening to voters. But don't take it from me.
I'm a loyal Democrat, but I am not happy. I just think that we did not listen to voters in this election, and I think we're going to have a bad night. When voters tell you over and over and over again that they care mostly about the economy, listen to them. Stop talking about democracy being at stake. Democracy is at stake because people are fighting so much about what elections mean. I mean, voters have told us what they wanted to hear, and I don't think Democrats have really delivered this cycle.
There was a moment where it felt like, hey, maybe we could talk about abortion and democracy. Turns out that was fool's gold. When people are sitting on a white-hot stove of economic pain, they want to know what you're going to do for them.
They're right. When inflation first started ramping up, they said it was transitory, and then they said it was Russia's fault, and then they said it was big oil, and remember, big meat? But now they're out of people to blame. So they're telling you to suck it up and eat Chef Boyardee.
What have you done and what do you plan to do to help solve our inflation problem?
Yeah, well, I grew up in a family where, if the gas price went up, the food budget went down. So by this time of the week, we'd be eating Chef Boyardee if that budget wasn't going to change, right? So that's what families have to do.
No, it's not just the House. Smart Money says Republicans take the Senate, winning the majority by 53 seats to 47. That's what Real Clear has it at right now. Now, a few months ago, Democrats were certain they could hold the Senate. So what happened? Well, the candidates they're running are the opposite of what people want. Let's start with Fetterman in Pennsylvania. Democrats wanted a guy who chased an innocent unarmed black man with a shotgun to be their next senator. Now, if Oz had ever done that, they'd have made him wear a white hood during the debate. Now, he had the lead for most of the race, Fetterman, but now the race is dead even. And Oz is surging and is now beating Fetterman in 5 out of the last 7 polls taken. That debate killed Fetterman's hopes. Same thing happened in Georgia. The race is tied. Walker was 6 points down in October, and the Democrats threw everything they had at this guy, over $100 million and some really dirty attacks. But Walker's running through the tape, and Reverend Raphael Warnock was exposed as a race-baiting slumlord who hates cops and has no answers on crime and inflation. Mandela Barnes in Wisconsin is a lot like Warnock, except, he has a lot less money and no Reverend before his name. Ron Johnson took the lead at the end of September and never lost it. He's up 3 points and has been up 6 of the last polls taken. That's a Senate seat I'm not worried about losing. Johnson is the man driving the Hunter Biden investigation in the Senate, so when he wins, the Hunter Biden investigation becomes the Joe Biden investigation. The Arizona Senate race is the closest one. Democrat Mark Kelly has had the lead the entire time. Blake Masters, who we like a lot, never had the money Kelly did, but he's closing hard as heck and is only down 1 point with a lot of momentum. This is a key Senate race, and if Masters wins, that means this is a red wave situation. Polling's tough in Arizona for some reason. I can't figure it out, so we're just going to have to learn a lot tomorrow. The Nevada Senate race isn't getting a lot of traction, but this is another opportunity to pick up another seat. Adam Laxalt's running strong with Hispanics and is now ahead of a really lackluster Democrat, Cortez Masto, by about 3 points. This race has gone back and forth since September with a lot of lead changes, but Laxalt's finishing strong. Gas prices are ridiculously high in Nevada and are killing the Democrat there. It looks like Republicans have momentum in that race. One of the sleepers is New Hampshire, right? Bet you didn't hear about that one. The Republican Bulldog came from 9 points behind in a month and a half. And it's basically statistically even. Just a point and a half behind now. This would be another Republican pickup, and a win here would mean we're in red wave territory. I mean, if we're talking red tsunami, Republicans pick up a Senate seat in Colorado. I mean, that's a long shot, but we'll know Tuesday night what we're looking at. I see Republicans holding Pennsylvania and Wisconsin and picking up Georgia, Arizona, and Nevada. That would make it 53 Republican Senate seats. And if we're talking blood moon type of red wave, we can grab New Hampshire, which would make it 54. Big governor's race in Arizona. Our friend Carrie Lake looks like she's got this. She's been ahead for about a month and a half, and Hobbs is a catastrophe, who's afraid to debate and framed her opponent for a burglary committed by an illegal. Oh, and she held a mock slave auction. But the media doesn't want to talk about that. Only what's in Brett Kavanaugh's yearbook. That's what counts. Georgia governor's race. Stacey Abrams' career is over after Tuesday. Brian Kemp ahead by about 8. Has never trailed the entire time. Stacey's going to lose and say it's stolen and probably get a job teaching at Harvard next to Brian Stelter and Bill de Blasio. That's where Democrats fail up to. New York is much closer than it appears. Governor Kathy Hochul, the accidental governor, you remember Cuomo got Me Too'd, so she just found her way into that seat. She's been getting a lot of last-minute CPR from Crooked and Kamala and Bill Clinton, even President Biden. Now, the polls say she's up 7, but this race is a toss-up. And if anybody remembers the governor's race in New Jersey last year, that Republican Jack was down 14 points and ended up just losing by a hair. Now, these polls always underestimate Republicans, so keep that in mind. Crime's on the ballot here in New York, and we hope the red wave touches the Empire State. DeSantis is cruising to victory in Florida. It's not even close enough to put up there on the screen. It's a runaway. So let's move over to Michigan, where Tudor Dixon is making this a race. Gretchen Whitmer is only up 4, but this again is like New York. It is a total toss-up. Gretchen is an unlikable liar with a scary stare, and she can't even answer questions about COVID. I mean, literally, she cannot answer questions. Watch this.
I'm sorry. Did I do that when I touched the ear thing? It was starting to fall out.
Oh, no, it's okay.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.